Stevens, born April 4th, 1792, died in 1868, a graduate of Dartmouth College in 1814. Thaddeus Stevens was a distinguished lawyer. His law practice was based in Pennsylvania. He became one of the leading lawyers of that state. He also represented a district in Pennsylvania in the 1850s and then throughout the Civil War and the early years of Reconstruction. He was an important part of that group called Radical Republicans, the Civil War and Reconstruction. His highest official position, he became the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee during the Civil War and figured out all sorts of ways to assist Abraham Lincoln with the war effort. The reason, of course, I'm interested, the reason I'm so interested in Thaddeus Stevens is because, as one of his biographers, Fawn Brodie, wrote, Stevens defended the Indians, Seventh-day Adventists, Mormons, Jews, and Chinese, and he battled over 30 years to bring freedom and civil rights to the Negro. Stevens is interesting because he's not a person who was opposed to slavery throughout his adult life. He was not a racially egalitarian throughout his adult life. Far from it. I mentioned a moment ago that he was a leading lawyer in Pennsylvania. He argued many cases before the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. In 1821, he argued his first case before the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. In that case, he represented one Norman Bruce. Norman Bruce was a Maryland slaveholder who took a case to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court in order to recapture someone who he claimed as his human property, Charity Butler. Charity Butler was a slave in Maryland who from time to time would get to Pennsylvania, sometimes with her master, sometimes not. But what she would do is she kept very careful records, and every time she was in Pennsylvania for a day or two, she would note it.